too about branding, how to engage, how to build a following in a healthy way. What's the best ROI for a crypto Twitter?
Everything comes down to, and I've said, this is how I built everything I ever did before. Before I quit social media, I want to say I probably had over 200 million video views on content I created. Might not be 200 million. I know it's over 100 million easily, maybe 250 million. But anyways, wow. Everything comes down to memes and substance. And when I say substance, I think a lot of the crypto people refer it as alpha. And people want to laugh or people want to get smarter. If you're not giving one of those two things to people, you're not going to grow. So let me put it this way. I believe there's a big difference in branding and marketing. Marketing is short term and it dies at the end of the campaign, when branding lasts forever. Richard Heart is a brand. He has branded that we don't use admin keys. We don't have counterparties. We're going to hold our own coins. We're going to talk the truth. Richard Heart has a brand of being honest. I built brands around my lifestyle and being funny and making meme videos and making action videos and making like educational videos is where I made all of my views from. But I'll tell you where it didn't help me was, so one of my businesses that had like the most potential would be one of my e-commerce websites, where if it would have blown up like I wanted it to, it probably could have done 10, 20, 30, $40 million a year in sales. The first 2 years, I hyper marketed it. And I probably spent $100,000 a year marketing. On top of that, I gave away a $40,000 car just to customers each year. And I ran campaigns about the car, giving it away, and just did so much advertising in the first 2 years. And 2 years into it, all of like my friends, like I wouldn't say they're like my friends, but friend acquaintances that I would see around, they would ask me like, but what do you do? I'm like, I sell this. I sell X. Oh, I thought you were just giving away a car. Like, where can I buy a raffle ticket at? No, you buy stuff from me and I give you the car. I give somebody the car. And I spent so much money on advertising, and I went over people's heads. I grew a following on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter to probably, for that business alone, probably 60,000 within the first year. But I built that following 100% on a giveaway, giving discounts on certain pieces each week, very marketing based stuff, advertising the page to get new page followers. But a lot of it was just advertising driven. And let me give you a perfect example of why branding is better than marketing.
Okay.
I had a great relationship with every single competitor of mine because they saw the marketing I was doing and they're like, oh, this guy's going to take over. And they all put their pride aside and they all basically asked me like, hey, would you want to do some of this content for me also? And I'm like, well, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. So I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. I had a great relationship with all my competitors selling the exact same thing. I had such a good relationship with all my competitors that I was admins on all of their Facebook pages. I could delete them from existence. I had that kind of power on my competitors' page. And so what I found out, I did a lot of cross posting on Facebook with content I was creating, where when you're an admin, just say I was an admin of like 100 pages, every competitor, a bunch of sports players, I was admins on all these pages. And what I would do is I would cross post to where you can post the same video across several pages, but the views all rack up under the same number. Instead of just posting a video under this page and this page and this page, and they each get 500 views, it'd be one video with 1,500 views. And here's what I find out. I would make a video and my 60,000 following, it would like, this video would get 500 likes, because after you give somebody the free thing, they're like, look, they move on. You give somebody free shit, they're going to take it and move on and wait for the next deal. They'll come back and talk to you and you have another deal for them. Yeah. And so I don't ever give deals anymore. I just provide good content and hopefully good information that people like. But where I was getting at with this was my competitors page, who had 3,000 followers. 3,000. I had between 40 and 60 between my platforms. When I would cross post things, his business was built 100% organic, and his pitch was American made right here in the homelands. And that was his pitch. And people loved him for his pitch of being a small time guy, American made. And his 3,000 person page, when I would cross post something, it would get exponentially more interaction than from my 60,000 following, because people don't actually care about the ad that I'm presenting. The people that follow him care about what he's doing, and they share it. So he get 500 shares to my like literally 2, because my base for that specific business was all built on deals. And like, follow me for a $200 giveaway, like deals like that, you know, follow me. If anybody that follows us in the next week, we're going to give this part away to. So we did a lot of that stuff to build a following, and it's just not the right way to build a following. It's not the right way to build a following by going to Twitter, going and turbo liking everybody. I had bots that used to go through Twitter, like 1 million people a day, then unfollow them the next day to grow pages. It's a very bad way. Like my page now with 2,000 followers gets more interaction than a Twitter page that I had with 150,000 followers. I used to have like a dozen Twitter pages, all with over 100,000 followers, but they get no engagement because it was all farmed traffic. And it's not, my most success was my personal brand, where I actually had about 150,000 followers through that. That's what I talk about, the 150,000 followers from, not my businesses and stuff. Between everything, it was probably like 1 million and stuff. But like I said, a lot of it was just dead users that wouldn't interact with my stuff, because it was a very inorganic way to get a following. And the best way to get a following is be funny and be smart. If do one or the other.
Is that how you get people to care? Like, is that the key to branding? Get people to care, and they'll care if you're funny or smart.
Just like you, and like what you stand for. Like, I like making memes. I like looking at memes, and I like giving, like, I have a lot of life experience that I like to give out, because don't get me wrong, I'm here for 100% selfish reasons. I'm trying to make my bag worth more money. But if I can make people smarter, maybe that's good for my bag. And that's why I'm as selflessly as possible trying to give out all of the information I have. Like, when I came to Twitter, I tried to go around like a lot of the YouTube channels. Like, I tried to help Joker out a lot. You know, I'd like to help Jim Rat and Sam out if they ever wanted advice. I would love to give everything I know to somebody, so I don't have to go do the job. Because right now I'm a net buyer of crypto. If I have to sell a business and become a content creator, I'm not a net seller, but I'm not going to be a buyer anymore. If I don't have a business, I'm just going to watch my number go up. But right now I can send money into crypto because I have businesses. So I would love to give away all of the information I have, if it would help just a little bit for somebody to break out of just the Hex ecosystem, you know, and be like a crypto YouTuber, not a Hex YouTuber. I think that's where something could really help somebody with the right motives that can't be bought, that has good morals. I think that's where there's some low-hanging fruit for somebody like that.